that up. How are you?
All is well, man. It's definitely an honor to chop it up with you. I want to thank you for coming on the platform. I truly appreciate you.
Most definitely, man. The honor is mine, brother.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Man, we're gonna get right into it. For the viewers who may not know who you are, let them know what your name is and definitely where you come from.
My name is Chris the Glove Taylor, and I am a producer from Los Angeles, California. I made Crenshaw and Slauson famous through all my crew, the Dog Pound, Death Row, Ruthless Records. How y'all doing?
Oh, wow, man, that's major, man. You definitely a pioneer in hip hop and definitely on the West Coast for sure.
Oh yeah, I got some East Coast stuff too, man. I produce Nas and Epoxy and quite a few others actually.
Right, right. You done worked with some of the best the game has to offer. I want to ask you, how did you even get into music?
Wow. Shoot. I actually started as an as a kid. My mom got me into a. I had to learn an instrument. You know, if I wanted to play basketball, I had to go learn how to play an instrument. So she made me learn how to play the organ. I learned the organ and the piano. And so this is at 12. And I got really into like, doing it kind of. I used to play the organ for church and stuff. So what got me into, but after that, then I went to high school and I played music. I was in the band, marching band, and I played actual keyboard for the band, which was cool. We had like a jazz band too, but it really happened when I got out of high school and I was trying to play basketball and I didn't make it. And I wanted to do something. I became a DJ. And I didn't know what DJs. So imagine becoming a DJ today. You think it's tough today? When I was doing it, there were no DJs to look at. There was no one that did what I did, except for maybe Grandmaster Flash. Once I discovered him, then I was like, that's what I do. So then I emulated his moves and how he, worked the turntables. And then I became like the best at that here. And from there, so when you're the best at something or very good at something, that's how you get like in movies and stuff, like commercials. So I started getting in videos and motion pictures as myself. I was in the movie Breaking, which was about breakdance revival in Los Angeles. And then I was in the Shaka Khan I Feel For You video. I was the DJ at the same time. That was number one song and number one movie. So it was cool, and then it because of the movie, I wrote music for the film. I didn't really write any music for nothing else. And then at the end, they said, we need a talk song because they didn't call it, it wasn't called rap. It just was talk. They didn't know what to call what they were doing. We knew it was rapping, but the white folks, they didn't know. So they said, can you do one of those talking things over one of the tracks from the movie? So me and Ice-T made Reckless. And, from there, that was my first foray into producing a vocalist. Ever since. That was 1984.
Wow, that's major, man. That's what's up. Now,
Thank you, man.
breaking,
I
how
snuck in the
did
back
you,
door.
right, right, but how did you even connect with, a film project like that?
So the film, check this out. This is how God works. The movie was, so this club I DJ'd at called Radio, it was where hip hop, New York style hip hop began in Los Angeles. So it was like a happening place. Like stars would come to the club, celebrities and stuff, but it wasn't a Hollywood thing. It was just like like a neighborhood house party almost. But we had a stage and they had the floor, they would break dance. So these cats were like watching us do our thing. So some producers and stuff used to come, film producers, and these guys said, we're gonna make a movie about this place. So they made a movie about the place I worked at. Let's get it? I didn't get in the film business. The film business came to my club. So I
Wow,
played
okay.
myself, and Ice-T played himself, the MC. And then from there, I heard them talking about the music once in a break. My girlfriend at the time, Lisa, overheard them talking and said, "You better go tell them that you produce music." I was like, "I don't. I play the organ and I bought a drum machine." She said, "Go tell them you make music and you'll do the music." They're talking about Africa
Right.
Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force. We're gonna pay them and da-da-da-da. And I was like, "Nah." So I went over there and sold them on it and then did it. So shout out to my homegirl. She was fantastic. She really started my whole career with that. She don't even know it. She knows now. She actually heard me do this interview once, which is really interesting.
Wow. Okay, okay. Now,
So
how did you connect with Ice? Were y'all friends and cool before music, or is that what brought y'all together?
you ever see Purple Rain with Prince?
Yeah, back in the day.
So Purple Rain, remember in Purple Rain, it was Prince, his band, and the Morris Day's band. And they were the house band for the club. They played all the
Right.
music, right? So I was the house DJ at a club, and Ice-T was the MC. I didn't talk on the mic. I play records. So he would get up there and talk and rap. We met there. We both he tells the story where I was there when he got there. I tell the story he was there when I got there. We don't know who was there. We just was both there.
Right.
So with that, I met Ice, we working together. So we kicking it, we meet. Um, God got a way in my life. Like I met the same way with Dr. Dre. My buddy brought him to my house. Like that's how I met him, at my house. I didn't have to go nowhere. So it's a blessing to be able to have that kind of a God working in your life where He'll bring stuff to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, them some powerful people. Ice T and Dr. Dre, definitely legends, some goats for real.
Yeah, them is my guys.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Now, what was the hip hop scene in LA like in comparison to what we were seeing in like New York? Were y'all doing the same thing, or did y'all have like a different twist to it in the early 80s, like you say 84 and 85?
Man, 83, 84. So the movie came out in 84. We started clubbing like 82. So like 82,
Mm-hmm.
83. The club I was working for, radio, it was the only hip hop access I knew. Like it wasn't like in New York, you could walk around and you see hip hop, Some guy might be rapping with a drum machine, or another guy might beatbox, or not a drum machine, but radio. Another guy might beatbox, or another guy you might see a DJ in the park. See, in New York, you might see a DJ. So in LA, it wasn't like that. Not until we were that. We were the DJs in the park. So the way I started, before I did that club, I used to do house parties and now DJ the picnics in the park. And I got famous from DJing park picnics because they were big picnics. Like Capri Club was a big club. Uncle Jam's Army was a big club. Z
Right.
Cars was a big club. So I started doing those things. Then that was before rap, though. It was like Cameo and the Gap Band. I'm playing that stuff. You know what I mean? It ain't no talking records until
Right.
the first rap record I think was. I didn't play like a hip hop. I didn't play that. Sugar Hill Gang. That didn't hit the DJs here like that. It was like on the radio, and it was like, what's that? You know what I mean? But the other stuff came like Run DMC and the Beastie Boys and all, and Just Ice and T. La Rock and all that started coming. We were like, oh. But Ice-T and I started making music at the same time as those guys in 83 and 84. So we're the same, like I got a record before KRS-One type. You know what I mean? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like I was the first person, me and Ice-T were the first people on the West Coast hip hop scene to have platinum records. Nobody had that. They didn't even have a gold record. This is 84.
Wow, that's
So
history.
yeah, so it was no real hip hop scene, it was just radio, and it was what I was in. I was the DJ cutting and scratching, and we had break dancers and everything that we saw, we were doing. It wasn't like YouTube where you could see what somebody did today. But like we had guys like Oz or Crazy Legs, they come back and forth. One summer they come and show us the new shit. Like it's a year later or months, but this new. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, hip hop was Like remember Ice-T, LL Cool J. These are the earliest guys.
Oh
There was no
yeah.
NWA. Like you had, you know, Spoonie G, you had Curtis Blow, you know, those guys on the East Coast had they have quite a few rappers before us. I think Run DMC and all them did they 83 thing. It was 82, 83. But we came 84 with like Soul Sonic Force and that stuff. We were that. So, well, I was. And the DJs were. Ice-T wasn't that. He was trying to be whatever he became. But that stuff, that up tempo, that was the dance. That was the girl get girls.
Okay.
They like to dance to that. They still do, actually.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I
yeah, man.
appreciate you sharing
And
that for
same thing
sure.
with yeah, and with Dr. Dre. So I met him on a humbug, man. I was after I made money and was doing that. I was still DJing in clubs in the biggest clubs in LA. And so a buddy of mine brought Dre to the house, like, hey, this dude, I was in an R&B group and I was producing music and writing it and stuff. So he had me play it for dude and he said, come fuck with me. So I was with him. I got with Dre in 89. I've been with him ever since.
Wow.
Talk to
Okay.
him today.
Okay. Now I wanted to ask you about that. I was reading online that you actually did some work on the first Chronic.
Yes, sir. I mixed that album with Dre and I produced Stranded on Death Row and worked on all them songs with them.
Man, that's major, bro. That's like one of the greatest, if not the greatest, hip hop album. That and
Yeah.
Doggy Style, man. What was it like working on the Chronic?
Shit. The side I worked on Doggy Style too. The
Yeah.
Chronic was like it was like a cloud of smoke in the fucking studio the whole time. Like you see the smoke. So like my buddy was
Hmm.
on a footnote. He was like, I'm gonna make me. Now we didn't set out to make no weed record. It's not a weed record. It's the Chronic. It's the dopest shit going. That's why we called it that. Dre was like, I want to call my record dope. You can't call it cocaine. That's whack. You know, the Chronic. That was what was hot on the streets here. So yeah, we called it that. But so it was, man, let me tell you, bro, some of the greatest talent I've ever seen together. When I listen to those records and the people on them and how good they are and how they sound today, like, man, I'm just blessed to have been a part of that, bro. I thank Dre and God and everyone else for allowing me to be in that. I didn't have to be there.
Yeah, man. Y'all made history with that. Changed how people even viewed and listened to music and make music, man. That's a phenomenal album.
Thank you so much, man. Still to this day, it trips me out when people say that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We set
My
out
big
to
brothers
change
and them,
music,
they
though,
was
too.
bumping that.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Now, what was it like connecting with Snoop and working on Doggy Style, man?
So the whole Chronic and Doggy Style was like one album. We was working on the
Wow.
Chronic, and then we had to go on tour. So we took a SSL on tour with us, a big ass diesel. It's called Westwood One. So we was intending on working on Snoop's album while we was on tour, but Daz ended up working because we never worked. We was always fucking around or working on the show. So we come back and they tell us it's like January, February. They tell us we want to, and then when we come back in February, they playing. We went to the studio and did what's my name? Who am I? You know,
Hmm.
Snoop Doggy Dog. That one. A went straight to the radio. We had to come back off the tour to finish the album. So we finished the
Man.
record. Let me tell you, that record, man, okay, so we had done the Chronic. So it's so boom. So we hot, right? So Snoop's the next. He hot. Jimmy Iovine and Suge Knight. We finished the record like we're mixing, so we're finalizing. I'm Dre and I are arranging the order of the songs. I have to actually place them. It's a tape. Like imagine an actual tape. You ever seen a tape? You know what a tape is? How old are you?
I'm 37.
So you know what a tape is? You
Yeah.
ever seen a tape? So they have
Yeah, yeah.
cassette tapes, but they have reel to reel tapes. So we had these big reel to reel tapes we used to use. They're like Scotch tape. So anyway, you got to cut the tape with a razor blade to connect the songs. So editing in Pro Tools, if you ever wonder why when you got to cut something to give you a razor blade, it's because we use a razor blade in the studio. It's not because
Wow.
they could use scissors, you know what I mean, to cut, to let you know. It's easier to let you know scissors cut. That's more. So I'm cutting this thing together with a razor blade, right? We got this. This is the album. This is the work. You got it? Like, it's in the sink. Don't fuck it up, right? Like, this is the
Right.
time when you can't make no mistakes. So Suge is over here and Jimmy Iovine is right here. And I'm sitting in the chair and I'm rocking back and forth, about to make a cut. You know, I'm gonna slice it, and because we like for our songs to fade out and the next one start on beat. So it's like a mixtape, but you kind of pick up on it, but you don't. It's real smooth. That's why people listen to our albums all the way through.
Oh yeah,
You
no
listen to
doubt.
Doggy Style, you just play it. You listen to Chronic, you just play it. You might skip one song. So I'm cutting. I've got the razor blade, right? A razor blade. Okay. We got a tape that's worth, how many records did we sell? 7 million. So that tape right there is worth at least, I'm looking at $100 million in my hand. Right. Suge
Wow.
like, hey man, you know, we need this, man. You guys got to move faster. We in a hurt, man. We got, and then Jimmy's going, we got planes on the tarmac, $15,000 an hour, and we got trucks, and where everybody's waiting, the record is behind. And Suge is, so I look at Suge, you know, Suge, right? He's being very threatening. And Jimmy is trying to be in his way threatening as a nice Jewish rich guy. So I looked at both of them. I was like, you guys could do this. You want to do it? Or you just want to leave me alone? And Dre started busting up, right? He's like, damn. Because them dudes, they can pressure me not. None of them signed my checks. I worked for Dre. So I really couldn't care less
Right.
what Suge or Jimmy had to say. I would be like, Dre, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm that dude. Like, the general is here. I got the gun. You want me to shoot him or him? Dre, fuck the general. That's my general. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, they backed up off me. It was hilarious. They was like, you know, really trying to house the cat. I don't believe in, you know, I don't get nervous. I can't wait to do it. Like, I guess anxious. Like, okay, we about to go on
Mm-hmm.
stage. I want to get on that motherfucker. I don't want to. I'm not. Oh, I'm nervous. Nah, I'm like, where's that stage? What? Let's go. Turntables. You ready? You got music too. I could. All I need is my hands. You got music. You got that. I'm ready. So you know, we just love making music and doing this thing, and so we just do it for ourselves. We always have. It's for us, and then we let other people hear it and they like it.
Oh yeah, man. Y'all did y'all thing on them for
I work with
sure. Now, did you
Tupac
get a
too.
chance to? Did you get a chance to work with Tupac when he came to Death Row?
Sure did. I worked on California Love. Funny story.
Oh man.
Tupac popped up while we was doing California Love. It was Dre's record only. He had two verses, and then so I'm playing this part. Dre got two verses, right? So I go to the kitchen to get something to eat. We at Dre's house. We did this at his, he had a studio in his home. So I go in the kitchen. I make a sandwich. Boom. He always had great, man. Let me tell you, when I say make a sandwich, y'all gotta understand. Dre always had the best way you can make the best any sandwich you could think of. Like for real. Like Fred Flintstone. Remember back in the day, he had him, bro. We was cutting up. So I mean, telling you, man, the food was fantastic. So anyway, I'm in there making sandwich. Here come Tupac in the kitchen. I never met Pac. I'm like, Pac, what's up? I'm glove, whoopie whoop. He's like, yo, what's up? You want to hit this blunt? Yeah. So I hit the blunt, boom, boom, boom. Hit the blunt. You want me to make a sandwich? It's cracking. You know, he know the story too. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna go in here, check out some folks. So I said, okay. So mind you, I had just left out to the studio to come make a sandwich. So it don't take long to make a sandwich. I had just hit the
Mm-hmm.
blunt. Probably was out of there for 10 minutes, bro. Literally, maybe 15. I don't like to be out of the studio when Dre's working. I like to be there. So I go back through the house. There's some people in there. I'm gonna say what's up. And I get back to the studio and I see Tupac on the mic on his third. Okay, so when you make parts, he would do his verse, then he would double it, and then he would triple it, like do ad libs. This dude is doing
Mm.
ad libs. I walk in there, this nigga's doing ad libs, bro. I wasn't gone 10 minutes. He wrote it,
Mm.
laid the second one, did the ad libs in 20 minutes. And it became, man, I'm gonna put Pac on this. Pac gonna stay on this. I had intended when I went back in there, he was
Wow.
laying the horn parts, and that was supposed to go down. We was doing that, so I said, I'm gonna cut out real quick, make a sandwich. I come back, this dude's finished. I missed out the whole. I only saw him lay his ad libs, which is pisses me off. I should have seen the whole shit. And that's the only time I ever saw him in person in my life. So,
Man. Wow. Wow. I appreciate you sharing that. They say Pac was working fast. He recorded about 300 songs when he got
bro,
out.
I saw. Hey man, I'm telling you, I went out the kitchen. I went in through it was 12 minutes max. I'm gonna hold it down for you while you're gone. So this is the right now. This is the Chris the Glove show, and I'm gonna let y'all know when my host comes back. Oh, there we go. How you
You
doing,
still there?
man? So
Sorry about
welcome back,
that.
sir.
Right, right. But no, I was saying, man, yeah, like they say, Pac, he dropped about 300 songs from the time he got out of jail to the time he passed away, man. He was working fast.
Man, that dude used to have Can-Am Studios. It had 3 rooms in it, and he would be in all 3 rooms at the same time. Like he would go in this room and write a verse, go in that room and lay a verse, go there, lay a hook, come back here, lay a verse, write a verse. That's how he did it. He would write like 9 songs a day for
Wow.
like 2 years. Whenever he would go, so it wasn't every day for 2 years. But when we go in the studio, it'd be weeks. So I'd say if it was 2 years of Tupac during that time, he spent about. So let's say that's 24 months. He probably spent 8 months in the studio in that 24 months. Them 8 months,
Man,
every day he did 9 songs. You do the math.
man, that's
There's thousands
phenomenal,
of Tupac
man.
songs y'all haven't heard. Thousands.
I can believe it. I can believe it. Okay, okay. Now I wanted to ask you about Phone Tap. Now, to my understanding, you produced that record for the firm and Nas.
Yeah, I wrote that music and produced it with Dre.
Oh, wow. Man,
So what
that's a
I did was
legendary
this is what
track
happened. Let me
right
tell you how
there.
that happened. So the firm was this big project that we were doing at Aftermath. It got us with East Coast rappers, and for the first time, like we gonna produce them. So we got Nas and Foxy Brown and AZ and Carmega, who ended up going to jail. So that when I'd signed with Aftermath as a producer, right about 2 months before that project. So when I signed on, so now mind you, I had left Death Row before all the madness went. I left, and then Dre left, and then all this stuff happened. So Dre went and started a company. I wasn't there. I was like, man, I'm cool. I'm gonna just do something else because I wasn't really concerned with being harmed, but it was the money. Sometimes dealing with Suge and Death Row and that stuff, it was weird. Like just say. So
Right.
I was trying to go get. I had to eat. So I was like, nah, I'm good. So then my boy Mike Lynn, him and RC, they was my group Poor Broken Lonely. Mike Lynn went on and was with Dre. And Rube went and signed a solo deal with Dre. So they was both telling me, you need to come over here. He gonna hook you up. So I talked to Mike Lynn and he convinced me to go talk to Dre because I was like not really feeling it at all. And then I went over there and threw some numbers out and he gave me what I asked for, which I should have asked for something else. But he was gonna give me whatever I wanted, which he always does. So I went with Aftermath. So I'm at Aftermath. I'm used to being the number one guy, right? So I got to go in there and get back into my slot some kind of way. Cool. Not push. If it's already a number one guy, I'm going to chill. Figure it out, right? So the studio is a weird place. Where you sit is important. It's like if you watch Star Trek, you'll see Captain Kirk in a chair, but you'll see Spock right here all the time. And you got them dudes that sit in the front,
Oh
Chekhov,
yeah.
Sulu, they sit in their spots. And Homegirl is over there. It's the same in the studio. And if you in somebody's spot, they normally get up, or you will get up when they come in the room, right? So when I came to Aftermath, they got right up out that chair, whoever was in it, and just was like, yo. It was so much love. I walked right in there and sat my ass down in my chair, which is next to Dre, for the whole time. They didn't even trip. It was a group of producers. Stu, Butter. And we had great keyboard players, Kamara Campbell, I brought in Mailman through Butter. We had all these people, and they was like, so the firm was the project on the whiteboard after we named the company because we didn't have a name. So come up with Aftermath, and then we working on this firm. So we supposed to be working on this firm record. Dre has a place called the Dome. This is where we had like 150,000 records, all alphabetized and in genre like jazz, blah 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 blah, whatever, instrumental, acapella, woo, woo, woo. We had that, and it was in an aircraft hangar with some turntables, an MPC drum machine, a DAT machine, all the stuff you needed to get your beat going, right? So I used to slide over there all the time. It was just like an after hours thing for me. You know, I was always working. So when I leave the studio, I go over there and stay all night, you know? So I had a few things. This is right when I got there first week. So I had a few ideas that I couldn't really flip, right? And I put them on a deck. So I go to the studio one day, and then I got Stu. He comes up to me and says, man, so, you know, you got to have beats for the firm. If you're going to go on the plane, you got to get your seat. And I was like, get a seat? It's like, I'm thinking to myself, nigga, if Dre going, I'm going. I don't know. I don't understand your concept. You know, I was like Spock, right? I was like, okay. And then another one of them was like, yeah, man, you know, it's like they had some kind of competition or something going, right, to get on the seat or whatever. First class. I don't know what it was, but I know I always blame on first class. I was a death row, bro. I don't know what y'all talking about. I grew up in this industry. I'm going first class on a limo to the airport. That's how we travel. It's not like being special. That's car service. Like, what are you guys talking about? I got to earn my seat. Okay. So I purposely didn't do any music. I found a couple of things I was fucking with, and I didn't make nothing. And I let them dudes scramble, right? So Dre hit me. So you ready to go there? I said, I thought I wasn't going because he said, man, whatever. The car will be there, blah, 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 blah. So my boy and I, we get to Miami. We out there, right? Them dudes got beats. They playing stuff for Dre. They playing, and he's deciding, and we working on something. It's going down. I don't got no beats, nothing to play because I'm a cook-up artist, right? So I like to get with the artist in the studio and make it up right there. So I had this DAT. So I started listening to those loops. I loaded them into the MPC, right? So the way we work, everybody's in the studio. Dre got everything hooked up. The MPC that you can work on, you can put on headphones, it's all connected so they can record at any moment, right? It's also made that way so they can turn it on at any moment and turn it all the way up and make fun of your whack beat. So it's a purposeful design to clown cats. You know, because you go through some whack. Well, I don't, but most cats go through some whackness before they get to what they want, right? And it's that point where it's funny. And so I'm on this drum machine. So I get on them, I put on the headphones. You know, I didn't make no beats, right? I didn't even bring sounds. I had a stack of records. I was going to make drums and shit. So Butter had this drum machine loaded up. Shout out to Bud. That's my dog. He was like, oh man, you can use this shit in there. I was like, Butter, I don't want to use your drums. These your drums, man. You know, you worked on these, bro. See, our kits were us. So he was like, nah, bro, go ahead, man. Use whatever you want. I said, Bud, if I use these drums, you will never be able to use them again. I'm trying to tell you. And he's like, man, he laughed. Ha ha. You know what I mean? He scoffed. That's what that is when they scoff at you. So I said, okay, cool. So I found a dope ass snare. I was like, ooh, I tricked a little bit. And I had this loop, but I couldn't loop it. It was off beat. And I kept on fucking, So I sat down that day, put them headphones on, and I came up with a beat, right? I was like, oh, then I got that loop. And I said, oh, I got to play this loop and make it start here. So then I got it flipped, right? And so I'm sitting there listening to it like, I'm going like this, like, okay, I'm going to put this bass line in real quick. And I'm just doing this. So Dre look up. They got some other music going, right? And he look at me and he see me going like this. He said, what glove cooking? And he turned that shit all the way up. Woof. And them niggas turned up phone tap. When that shit came on, so the way it was set up, we was upstairs in the SSL room. Okay, let me back it up. We went to Miami to do this thing because the East Coast, West Coast thing had just got to a hill. Biggie had just got killed. Nobody was coming here. We wasn't going to New York. So we all did a mob meeting in Miami for 2 weeks. We found a studio with an SSL for us on the first floor, second floor, and a Neve for them on the first floor. So Nas and them was friends with the track masters. They was always kind of hung, LES. So they was in the studio downstairs. They was doing Desperado, actually. That nigga said, what glove hooking up? He turned that shit up. Bro, they came flying in the door. I saw papers get torn off of them pads, and they sat down at the front with some pens. It was like, what is this? And then I said, bro, you know how people talk on the phone and they never do the, like just a little part, because it was always just a little part. It would come in as an answer. I said, y'all got these voices that's dope. So we should make them like the phone, the whole record. Like y'all gotta be somewhere, you in another country or something. Y'all can only talk on the phone. That's the reason. So that's why we call it phone tap. And they was like, yeah, that's, you know, and then they just, everybody went. Everybody puts in, you know what I mean? It ain't just a rapper writes the verse. We all have a concept. And Dre was like, that's dope. And then dude was, he said, we got your phone tap. Nas like, we got your phone tap. What you gonna do? Sooner or later, we have your whole, you can, all we need now is the right word until, you know, that's Nas. You could tell. If he was rapping it, you'd be like, that's Nas. Dre's part. So, you know, that was fun that day. So, and then everything else, I mean, but that one was just spectacularly, it was an announcement, like, and it was the first day.
Damn, you set it off.
Yeah, because we was working on one thing for Don Robinson to be on, and then he said, what glove cooking on? Bang! Phone tap.
Man, that's major. I appreciate you sharing that one for sure.
Absolutely.
Man, so dang, we worked with
Butter
Dre.
can't never use them drums either. I told him, nigga, that's phone tap drum. I tried to told you. Shout out to Bud and his beautiful
big
wife
shout
and
out to
family.
Bud.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So wow. Now you did something on Chronic 2001, the explosive.
Yeah. So during that same time, after we came back, we started working on King T. King T was the artist that we was gonna, you know, blow up. So we flew to Reno, and we did. I did 3 songs on Tilo. Out in Reno, I did it. Hello is a song that's NWA. Hello with Ice Cube. We started this gangster shit. I did that for King T, and I did Explosive. Both of those, King T had verses on them that day. So when I left, I had a thing. I had to have surgery, so I left Aftermath. The next thing I know, those tracks, one was NWA and the other one was on Dre's album, Explosive. I was like, oh, shit. You know? So, yeah, that's just when you got heat, you can just utilize it to your advantage however you want. I mean, you know, I'm his tool at that time. You know what I mean? I got no problem with that. That's, bro, if I'm the sniper or the bullet, matters not.
Oh, yeah, man. You
Let's
did your
get the
thing.
job done.
Right. Objective complete.
If I'm the guy who feeds the sniper who kills the guy, let's get the job done. If I'm the guy who sweeps the floor that of the guy who feeds the sniper who kills the problem, celebrate that dude, bro. It's all of us, man. It's not one of us. Everything is a team. Ain't nothing done by yourself. I just dropped the project I did by myself. I can name 3 people that worked on it, and I did it by myself. I can name 2 more right off the top of my head. 2 more names popped in. So 5 people is me by myself.
Wow.
You know
That's
I mean?
amazing, man. Yeah. That's amazing. Speaking of new projects, man, what are you working on? Is it coming out? Is it already out?
So I just dropped an experimental album on YouTube. I'm about to release it. I'm doing a deal now with a label, and I'm gonna release it like a real release, not this Spotify and all that. But it's on YouTube right now. It's called Pimp Chronicles. It's an experiment with me. I'm doing all the vocals. So I never rapped or anything before, but I started writing music for this television series that I wrote, and those songs are all in the series, and I'm a character, so the vocals are, it's meaningful. When people see it, then they're gonna understand it. But I dropped that on New Year's Eve just for my friends and stuff, and you know, YouTube, check your boy out.
Oh yeah, what's the name of it again?
Pimp Chronicles.
Oh yeah,
it's on my page, DJ Chris the Glove on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
that's it, man. Oh, and I got a single out right now that I'm working. I have a comic that I'm doing. It's coming out in April, and I'm dropping singles every couple of months. I got a new one, my boy. Shout out to Tony Hasbone from Lo Correcto, Keloke. I got a Dominican roots and Dominican business partner. So you know, we put out Sigame, and that's out right now on all the streaming stuff. Now that's Chris Glove, featuring Tony Hasboon and Big Crook. And that record is bananas. We working that right now. Let me tell you, it's I'm shooting a video. I'm editing parts of it now, and we're gonna drop that video and the Kello K video for the next single. And you know, my partner Tony, he's in the editor today right now. So shout out to Tony. Get back when you do next month, homeboy. Gotta start this tour.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, King, man, it's done been well over a half an hour, man. I don't want to hold you up. I appreciate you just sharing that hip hop history with us, man. Like I say, it's definitely an honor, and I
My
truly
pleasure.
appreciate you coming through,
Definitely,
man.
man.
Yeah, no doubt,
All
no
right,
doubt.
man. Well, you know, hit up my boy Jeff. I send you a drop. Make sure you keep it moving.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Thank you everybody for tuning in. It's been another episode of Taye Speaks. So until
Ha!
next time, family. Peace.
West Coast.